Welcome to the physics class. So this is a problem that we have, probably grade 12, and then we have the mass there, which is unknown m, and we have constant velocity, and we should know what constant velocity means. It means the velocity is the same, so the change in velocity is zero because the initial and the final is the same velocity. And then the vertical height 12, so that's 12 meters there above, and then the frictional force is 35.5. That's the frictional force on the surface on which the trolley is moving. Angle is 30 degrees, so it's required to define conservative force. So our conservative force is Fg, gravitational force. So we're required to calculate work done by the frictional force on the trolley, and then we need to know how to define work done. So work done is going to be frictional force, displacement, which is change in x, and multiplied by cos theta. So that angle is not angle of inclination, it's angle based on direction, so it's either 0 degrees or 180 degrees. So we have 35.5 newtons for our friction, and then newtons multiplied by displacement, because we're not given the displacement, then multiplied by cos 180 degrees, because it's moving on the opposite direction. Friction always moves on the opposite direction of the moving object. So frictional force, what we don't know, we have, okay, so cos negative 80 is negative 1, so negative 1 times 35.5 is negative 35.5 newtons times change in x. So cos 180 degrees negative 1, and we have change in x, which is we don't know the displacement. So where's the displacement part? So that's the displacement part AB. So that friction, there is that part, that friction has contact with the trolley, is unknown. But we know that we can draw a sketch, so that is 30 degrees there, and we have opposite, which is 12 meter. So we have 12 meter there, and we need to find change in x, so that is gonna be change in x, and then sine 30 degrees, so that's sine 30 degrees is going to be opposite, which is 12 over hypotenuse, which is change in x. So it's 12 over change in x. Right, so what we do, we cross multiply, and when we cross multiply, so the change in x is going to be okay, that is half, so it's going to be 12 divided by half. So 12 divided by half, so that's actually 12 divided by sine 30 degrees, because sine 30 degrees is half, and then that is 12 divided by half gives us 12 multiplied by 2 over 1, so that gives us 24 meter. And then from there we now can punch the work done by frictional force, which is negative 35.5. Okay, negative 35 newton multiplied by our displacement is 24 meter, and all of that, if you calculate, the unit is joules, which is negative 852 joules. So that's negative, so we need to interpret it. Why is the sign negative? It's negative because that does work, so the friction does work of 852 joules on does 852 of work on the trolley. Okay, so that's why it's negative, because it does on the trolley. If the trolley could do on the surface, then that could be positive, right? So let us look at the steps that we took. Remember that constant velocity is 0. Constant velocity means that change in velocity is 0. So we have there change in kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy is going to be half m that multiplied by that, because it has to be squared, right? So that's going to be squared, forgot, so that's going to be 0. 0 joules, whether squared or not. And then that is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Yeah, so that's for the previous question. So the next question, we need to calculate kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy is going to be work net is equals to change in kinetic energy. So remember that change in kinetic energy is 0. So we need to find the work net. So the work net there, work net is going to be, we first calculate the force net. So force net times displacement. So force net there is multiplied by the change in x, displacement, and then we need to find the cos theta. Okay, the cos theta, the angle, whether it's a positive or negative, 0 or 180 degrees. So force net there is going to be, it will be FG parallel, because that's the parallel side. So these are the parallel side. Yeah, gravitational force acting on parallel. Then you have friction there acting on the wheels of the trolley, and then force applied, which is 62.5. So that's our force net. So we come there, we apply our equation. So work net, remember that change displacement multiplied by, because there will be displacement all over, displacement multiplied by force net, multiplied by FG parallel minus friction minus force applied, and all of that. So the force net changing equation is changing kinetic energy is 0. Okay, that will be cos, the resultant of those forces will be cos theta. Okay, so that will be equals 0, because the work net is 0. Kinetic, the velocity doesn't change. So divide that by the displacement, that cancels out. So what we have m, which is FG parallel, mg is 9,8, and then that is sine of 30 degrees, and inclination, that is for FG parallel, minus frictional force 35.5, and then force applied 65. And then we have 35.5 minus 62.5. Yeah, 62.5 for the force applied. And then from there we have sine 30 multiplied by 9.8. Calculating that, I think it's gonna be 4.9. So it's gonna be 4.9 m, and then 35.5 minus 35.5 minus 62.5. Welcome. So we have 9.8 multiplied by sine 30 degrees, and we have negative 35.5 minus 62.5. So that gives us 49, and then that gives us 49m minus 98 is equals to 0. So m is going to be 98 divided by 4.9, and then 98 divided by 4.9 gives us 20 kg. So that's it. That's our answer of the unknown mass. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe or follow. If you have any comments, leave below. Any problem, please forward. Thank you for watching.